With all these rumors and talk about the new 1DX Mark III, kind of has me thinking, should I start saving because I think it's gonna get released like early 2020, or should I stick with my GH5? Should I maybe invest in some more lenses for my current setup? In this video, I mainly just want to talk about comparing the video specs between the rumored specs for the new Canon 1DX Mark III and the GH5, which is probably going to be a third, potentially a fourth of the cost. But before we get into it, I'm at this amazing place in Lake Tahoe called Eagle Lake, and I'm gonna make a cup of coffee, so let's do it. Alright, so we were gonna shoot this epic B-roll sequence, making some coffee, you know, classic YouTuber stuff, but ended up forgetting the propane to the jet boil. Rookie mistakes. But I guess that's too mainstream anyways. Gonna keep talking about these cameras, I guess. If you're looking at the new 1DX Mark III, is it really worth the cost compared to the GH5? The new Canon 1DX Mark III is rumored to be in the low 6,000s, could even be higher than that. I mean, you can probably pick up a used GH5 now for about $1,000 US. Does the GH5 also do 120? It actually does 180 slow-mo in 1080p. Yup. Is the stabilization, the internal stabilizer, the IBIS in the GH5 gonna be better than the 1DX Mark III? Probably is. I'm really just comparing these two cameras in terms of their videos today, not photo capabilities. If you need a camera that's gonna do photos as well as it does videos, I think it's probably pretty obvious that the 1DX Mark III is gonna be for you. So if that's you, might as well just stop watching now. But that being said, the GH5 does take great photos, and for $5,000 cheaper for the body, could be still a good option. But on the flip side, the 1DX Mark III is looking like it's gonna have some really great autofocus features. Now, the autofocus on the GH5, especially with the new firmware update, is not bad, but I definitely think it's gonna be hard to beat that 1DX Mark III. Also, of course, the full frame sensor versus that tiny little micro four thirds sensor that's in the GH5. I think the fact that the 1DX Mark III is gonna be full frame, shoot full 4K in full frame, is probably the #1 difference between that camera and the GH5. Ooh, but does that really matter to most people? I'm not sure, at least for me. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, but being able to pick up a used GH5 for $1,000 and looking at the price tag on the new 1DX Mark III, I don't know if that's really that big of a deal to me. I mean, with 4K 60, 120 slow-mo and full HD, the internal stabilization, the GH5 still really does everything that I need out of a video camera. All right, so I'm back at the house now, and I realize I completely spaced on a huge point for the 1DX Mark III. And that's the fact that it's supposed to shoot raw video completely internally. On top of the fact that the 1DX shoots full 4K on that full frame sensor, I think that the fact that it shoots raw internally is probably another one of the huge separators between that and the GH5. That being said though, the GH5 shoots 6K anamorphic internally, which probably is pretty similar to that raw video that the 1DX Mark III is gonna shoot. I'll link a video up above and also down in the description that will show you how to set up 6K anamorphic internal recording on your GH5, and another video that compares the raw photos, the raw still photos on the GH5 to the 6K anamorphic video that he shoots, and they're pretty much the same thing, the same resolution. So yeah, the 1DX Mark III is gonna shoot raw internally, but the GH5 has shot this 6K anamorphic video for a while now, and I'd be interested to compare them and see which one actually has more information when color grading. So again, is the 1DX gonna be worth the price difference compared to the GH5? I'm not sure, but let's get back to the video. And that's not to mention the size. Of course, the 1DX is a beast. It's, I would say, 3 times the size of the GH5, especially once you get a big Canon L-glass lens on there. The Panasonic Micro Four Thirds lenses that go on the GH5 are pretty awesome in terms of saving space and weight. Of course, the 1DX Mark III is going to be a badass camera if you can afford it and have the space to carry that big camera and all the weight. Am I gonna make the switch myself? I'm highly considering it, but I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards probably not at this point. I just don't see the difference in quality for video being a $5,000 difference. I just don't know if I could justify that. I've had my eyes on the Panasonic S1H because that's kind of in that same Panasonic ecosystem, full frame. There's some new features on there like 120 FPS slow-mo with audio, which is actually really nice. I see that being the next kind of logical upgrade for me at least, because I think that camera comes in at about $4,000. And supposedly this new 1DX is going to be like $6,000 to $7,000. But again, I'm really happy with the GH5 still. I've owned this camera for 2 years and by no means do I feel like it's outdated. Going into 2020, I feel like this would still be a great camera to invest in. Probably a better deal than ever because you could pick one up for such a good deal at a used price. So there you have it. Those are my current thoughts on the 1DX Mark III and if it's worth it for me to sell my current GH5 setup and start investing into that ecosystem. I will say this, I cannot wait to try one out once they get released to the public. Who knows, maybe I will end up switching and I'm missing something really important. But for now, I'm really happy with the GH5. It does everything I need. It's got a good price point, good selection of lenses at a pretty good price. The compactness and the weight and the size is perfect for what I do, which is mainly like travel, outdoor films. So the GH5 just checks off a lot of the boxes for me that the 1DX Mark III does not necessarily do yet. Whew, and all right, I'm gonna get back. Ooh, wow, that is really dark. I'm gonna get back to hiking because it is just absolutely insane out here in October. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, a subscription if you really enjoyed it and want to see more. This channel is all about filmmaking tips, tutorials, anything I can do as a creator to help out my fellow creators. I really want to hear your thoughts and opinion on the GH5 or maybe the A7 III or even Olympus, Fuji, any of those cameras versus the new 1DX Mark III. So leave those thoughts down in the comments. Really excited to kind of hear your guys' thoughts on what I said, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Keep creating. Make some coffee right here. Best view in the house. Let's get it.